Good afternoon, folks. Happy Victory Monday. Today we check in at lunchtime with Brother Bill. We catch up with Big Phil about his feelings about the divisional win, and we check in with Bills Mafia czar Del Reid to see if both are nervous for Kansas City and how they felt along the roller coaster that was the Ravens game. Let's go. All righty, folks. Trainwreck tonight, 373 in the house. It is the best of all days. It is a Victory Monday, but yes, we are getting set to take on the Chiefs, but let's not look ahead. Let's look back with a friend of the program, with a friend of the business who's done a lot for Trainwreck Sports. And you know him, you love him as, I would say the czar of Bills Mafia, Del Reid, live from the workplace, of course. How are we doing, sir? How are you feeling on this Victory Monday?
I feel fantastic. A little disappointed I'm not Buffalo's bad boy anymore, but
yeah,
I'll take czar. I'll take czar.
I tried to make it stick, honestly, but just too many people were like, "Wait, what? Did Del do something?" And then I had to explain that it was a joke. And I'm like, "That's just too much work for a joke." So, with that said, yesterday was not a joke. You take in a lot of Bills media. That's the funny thing. You work in amongst Bills fans. You sell to the Buffalo market and everything, but you're also a Bills fan at your very core. You're a Bills enthusiast, a fan enthusiast. You took it all in last week from Bills going from slight favorites to underdogs, all the media talk. And again, I'm not acting like they were saying they were going to blow us out or everything, but just the lack of balance on people saying, you know what, I think the Bills are going to be able to perform well this reason on all the other side. It just seemed like a complete absence of that. What was your opinion on everything you saw going into the game, yesterday?
I was nervous at the beginning of the week, but then as the week went on, and we saw each other before the game, I told you.
Yeah.
I don't have the guts to tweet this.
You were. If you want to talk about confidence, I'll put your words in your mouth. You were peaking for sure. I think, and I think that's a Bills phenomenon. It doesn't matter if it's a game in October or whatever, or if it is the AFC divisional at home. You start off that next day, you're a little bit still taken in the last game. You're kind of revving the engines. You're a plane kind of leaving the that airplane dock part, and then you get out to the runway, and then you rev the engines on Thursday or Friday, and we were definitely revved up yesterday. But can I tell people what you said? I don't want to.
Go for it.
Okay, well, no, you predicted a double-digit win, which I think at halftime you had to be kind of snickering a little bit for how we got there for sure. But first, real quick, you and the missus did stop by the game day tailgate. We had a great time with Brian Moorman.
Yeah, that was a fun surprise. He was just we were in line to get food at Game Day Hospitality, and I look over, and it's just him and his kid, teenager, just eating at one of the little stand-up tables, just nobody bothering them. I was like, I think that's Brian Moorman. I looked at it. She goes, "Oh yeah, absolutely." I said, "Well, I'm not going to bother him." It was kind of funny. He was just like hanging out. Nobody's bothering him. Like nobody's really picking up on it. And then obviously he went up on stage and did his thing, and there was like, "Oh, Brian Moorman." So, he got the best of both worlds. He got a little bit of like privacy, and then also he got get some love.
He did a good job because he was in Zubas. He was in like a winter hat. So like you said, he was very incognito. But yeah, we brought him up on stage. I don't think he anticipated that I would confront him with his 2005 Pro Bowl skills challenge appearance. But who knew what was going to happen yesterday? But we had a great time at the game day tailgate. 10-0 this Bills season. Reid. I was jumping to the end. Del. We'll get through this game here, but when you look back on it, do you think we're kind of like this almost deserves more than a Victory Monday? Again, I know we don't have time. There's no rest for the weary, but it's almost like you wish you could take a couple of days here and just, look at the fact that 10-0 at home. What a historic season.
Yeah, it was great. We were all spoiled this year. Every single game we went to ended in a W.
Went home happy.
Yeah, exactly. So very spoiled. This season has just been so special. We've been going through the ups and downs. Honestly, I don't think Bills fans, of course we weren't, but we're as down on the team following Diggs leaving as the rest of the national media. But to hear all the smart guys like Emmanuel Acho and Ryan Clark and all these guys on the national pundits who have to cover 32 teams, but then they have the gall to act like they're an expert on every single one of those 32. Just tell us that the team wasn't as talented. It was going to be a down year. So many people picked the Jets and the Dolphins to finish ahead of Buffalo, and for us to go 10-0 at home, and just to have the season that we've had so far, and we're like one win away from the championship. It's very satisfying. This is a very special season. I would love for the Bills to obviously win with end it with a championship. That's true for every season, but this one's going to be especially sweet because this is supposed to be a rebuild year, according to everybody else. I don't think anybody in the building was calling it a rebuild year. I don't think even Brandon Beane was calling it that. But this will be really sweet. There'll be a lot of egg on people's faces, and there already is, but even more so from that national perspective.
And listen, you're right, because we were talking all offseason. The thing we were saying was, well, you know what? 2 years ago, they said the Chiefs were rebuilding, and then they ran off to like consecutive titles, or a year ago, they said they were rebuilding. They ran off titles. So there's no limit. The media, gets a lot of push, but certain talking heads know more than others. With that said, we were all talking once we got into the stadium yesterday. So I'll kind of just zip to the first half. Obviously, I felt like we kind of escaped, got a little lucky in the first half. What was your vibe at halftime being up 21-10?
At halftime, I was thinking, we're going to double dip. They're going to come out of
that
the
drive before half. The drive before half just looked and was executed so well. It was almost like if you could have literally just been writing what you were doing as a team, that's what they were doing. They were able to stretch out the series of each down, everything. They were able to, the Ravens were trying to use timeouts with like 1:40 left, ended up basically just giving the Bills more time to rest and talk things over at the end of the day. Yep. But yeah, given how well that drive went, you just had to feel like they were going to double dip, but you weren't nervous at all a little bit?
Not really. I mean, I wasn't confident. I wasn't like, we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, but you were feeling confident going in, and being up 21-10 at half with getting the ball had to feel some type of way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just thinking like, oh my gosh, like after that, just thinking how right before the Bills scored that touchdown before halftime, thinking, there's a possibility here for the Ravens. The next time they touch the ball, the Bills are up 28-10. So that was really exciting. So at halftime, there's confidence. Nothing's ever over until it's over, and we know that as Bills fans. But of course, feeling pretty confident.
Speaking of confident, how about that performance at halftime by the Bills? Eric Wood and a sneaky kicker sneaking out there.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was really funny. So I was paying like 75% attention. So did that one guy just get the truck because Mormon kicked it through for him? Is that what happened?
I think that ends up being what happened there. I think the truck was already awarded, and they needed like some kind of ceremonial like theatrics to do it. And I think they executed. Listen, I am a guy like Del. I don't know if you like look up at the scoreboard, but I always criticize the Bills because the scoreboard does never like really the scoreboard besides that's giving you like stats, all that stuff. It is so wasted. It's giving you stuff all the time that you never like care about, that nobody needs to know about, all this stuff. When it could be giving you much more informative information, or at least entertaining you in a way. I give them a lot of flack for that. With that said, I thought the halftime performance of Brian Mormon and Eric Wood and Matty Glab was good. I give them credit for that. You got to give credit if you're going to give them flack. So we go into the second half. So I'm not even going to walk by play-by-play with you. I'm just going to ask you at a certain juncture, and you give me your panic meter on a scale of 1 to 10, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so your panic meter when the Ravens drive for 3 points after the Bills go 3 and out to start the half.
From 1 to 10, I would say 4.
Okay, a 4. What about when the Bills then get stalled at half midfield and have to punt?
5.5.
And then they drive right down the field.
7.
Okay. After Tyler Bass lining up the 50-yarder. That was a moment. You got that. People might deny it. This is what I'm going to say. Listen, I am the biggest Tyler Bass guy, and I earned that right. I was there all off season. Everyone wanted to jettison him to the moons of Saturn. And I was like, you know what? We need to remember that this guy is 8 of 9 when it comes to like clutch kicks. He hits from 50 plus all the time. Yes, everyone misses your own occasional 42-yarder. I'm knocking on wood right now. To frustrate you, but he just gets done. And obviously he had the Miami kick where he kind of, dispelled his demons. But there was still there were whispers because obviously the Ravens were driving in the second half. We hadn't stopped them all game. We hadn't forced one punt. And if they missed there, Lamar's taken over at the 40 down 2. And he obviously makes it. Big make from Bass. What's your panic level after the make? And we're up 5 early fourth quarter.
Early fourth quarter, up 5. I was at a 6, 7. Like I was getting little.
Oh, so you weren't able to get, once you got up to that 7.5, you weren't able to really come down the rest of the game. Okay, what about after the Bernard forced fumble? We get the ball back up 5.
No, not at all. No. Okay, then I started to regress a little bit. That was such a clutch play. I said I probably got down to about a 5 at that point. Could go either way.
What about going into 3rd and 2 at the 2? Bills score a touchdown. Game's basically over with 3 minutes there. Were you at like a 2?
Before the 3rd.
So it's third. It was 3rd and 2 for the Bills at the 2-yard line with 3:30 to go.
I was probably at a 7 or 8 at that point. I started getting really nervous just because it's like
crunch time.
Time was compressing, and I'm now and then I'm at the game, and I'll still check Twitter now and then. I saw somebody tweeted, "Okay, what play is going to haunt me for the rest of the offseason this year?" Somebody tweeted that, and I was like,
"Oh my god,
you are letting the outside voices come in,
you bending time. You truly are Doctor Strange." All right. So then they drive down. What about now? I just don't even want to talk about your panic meter. What were your thoughts on that Lamar Jackson play where he rolled to his right and kind of like jumped through across his body?
About a 9 at that point,
Okay. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that was just an outstanding play, though, looking back at it. Obviously, credit where it's due. I mean, my goodness. That was Josh Allen.
Starts to feel like destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that. You can start to see the narrative coming together like, oh, yeah, shot himself in the foot. The team was really struggling.
Yeah. Oh, you could hear it. You could hear it. Absolutely. Yeah. So they score a touchdown. So did you even have time to panic here? I mean, there was no timeout.
No, I was honestly. If I'm giving you numbers, I'm just making stuff up because.
No, give me the vibe. Give me the vibe. Give me the vibe. Talk to me about the vibe. You're there with your wife. Talk to me about the vibe once they score. What were you thinking? Were you thinking I got to get loud right now? What was your vibe?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that 2-point conversion attempt, screaming like I still feel it. I still feel all.
I'm not. I have my voice today. I have my voice today, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Everyone knows that I kind of have a weird rocky voice, and I can be a little bit loud. And I'm not gonna lie, I was getting some looks from some people yesterday with my blood curdling. But I'm looking around at these people. I go, this isn't an October game. Like season's on the line right now. Yep. Like any play could make the difference. That's what I was telling myself. So I don't know. So that's why I was listen. I was leaving my humility at the door.
Full body screaming. Just I remember I was up on the back bench. We're in the last row in our section. I'm on with my back against the wall, screaming, like projecting as much as I could because we were in that end zone. My voice is going to be heard. I remember thinking like my voice is going to be heard, just screaming my head off.
Absolutely. So we get the stop. Where were you at nervous level? Not a panic level, but nervous level on the onside kick. I'm not going to lie. Looking back at it, I feel like I shouldn't have been nervous, but I was beyond nervous when it was happening live.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Beyond nervous because all you can think of is, oh, my gosh, if this gets flubbed, they're one pass away from kicking a field goal and winning this game. And just the narrative start going through your head, and you're like, you don't want to think about it. So just God bless Roswell Douglas.
Seriously, made it look easy.
Either way for him, right?
So talk to me. How was that post-game glow? It felt pretty good to me. I did a half lap around the stadium because I just knew there was no rush to get out, and I was just kind of walking amongst the crowd like aimlessly.
Yeah, I did not want to leave my seat. I think we were in our section for probably 25 minutes after that game ended. I didn't want to leave because there's the afterglow, there's all that excitement, but like I'm not going to be able to visit my section. Right. It's the last one. So like, I'm not going to be back there till like August. Yeah. So just wanted to soak it in, knowing that, there's only with the stadium being built and everything, there's only so many times that this moment is going to happen like it is right now, regardless of even the playoffs, but just like this loving, where we are right now and everything. but it was just a really special moment. Just they kept that AFC champions up there for
that
as
was
long.
awesome.
It felt like
That's
as long
the
as
best.
people wanted to stay in the stadium.
Well,
That
go
big
next stop
Jumbotron was not going
AFC
anywhere.
Championship. Next stop AFC Championship. I don't want the haters coming after Dell saying for talking about the wrong thing. But with that said, so the Ravens are in the rear view. Chiefs, we are basically, if you're gambling on this game, Dell, where you have the two-time repeat Super Bowl champions who have only lost one game all year, who are coming off a bye, who have Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead, they are basically a negligible favorite. The Vegas gambling line is saying this is basically even. Now, you would have to think if you were John Q. Public, as I like to say, aka a random gambler, the opportunity to bet on the Chiefs in this situation seems very tempting, which, just to be clear, obviously these casinos weren't built, by, donations. Okay. I'm encouraged by that line is all I'm saying. I think it's very telling that the Chiefs are a pick 'em.
Yeah. We'll see how it changes throughout the week. But I am very happy with the line going back in the direction it did last week. I do not want to give the Chiefs anything to, the disrespect that the Bills probably felt.
Oh, I love it.
I'm sure motivated them. So
love
you're
it.
Gonna have the Chiefs. You want the Chiefs actually saying, what, Buffalo's favored, and when we're on the cusp of being a three-peat Super Bowl champion, and you're going to favor these guys that have never beat us in the playoffs. I do not want that. So I would love for the Chiefs to be favored by 10. But you're right. It does show where people's minds are at.
The perfect thing we would get this week is we would get it moving to like Chiefs -2, Chiefs -2.5 or 3. If we get a big public push to move the number that way. So that means a lot of people are thinking that's going to happen. A lot of people believe in the Chiefs. That's what I think that would be the perfect movement for this week. But Del Reid, are you nervous? We've beaten this team 3 out of the last 4 times we've played them, Del.
Oh, you put it like that. Yeah, I am. I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm excited more than I am nervous. Like both those feelings are there, but I'm having a hard time, like just pushing the excitement away. I'm so excited for this game. We'll see what happens, and like with what you just said, beating them 3 out of the past 4 times. We'll see what happens. This Chiefs team is the most beatable Chiefs team that they've played in the playoffs in the past 5 years. And I don't know where I read it. Somebody posted last night. This is I think it was one of the Chiefs fans accounts that I follow. The Chiefs are getting the best version of Josh Allen they've ever faced. So I can see where, public opinion would be pushing more towards the Bills. So that's exciting to think about. That's really exciting. So we're going to find out. I mean, this is what they wanted, right? I think they wanted to go through the Chiefs. I mean, I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter earlier this weekend saying, like, I would love to play Houston. And no, we got to go through Kansas City. Otherwise, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you beat. Just beat whoever's in front of you. But it's what people wanted. I'm sure the players would love to really, like, plant their flag in the fact that they beat the 2-time Super Bowl champions on the way to the Super Bowl. And then hopefully, see what goes from there. That's a thought for another show.
No, I agree. I think that was very well said. With that said, are you more excited for the game this Sunday, or are you more excited for Captain America: Brave New World?
The game this Sunday. I'll have this movie the rest of my life, and I'll be able to watch it time and time again. But excited for both. But the Bills are definitely on the other side of that right now.
Okay. We got him locked in on the record. Hopefully we have a brave new world for Bills fans and a road to the Super Bowl after this week against Kansas City. But thanks for joining us on Victory Monday, Del Reid. Let's have a good day now.
Yeah.
Folks, just a reminder that myself, Slick, and Don will be at the region's premier entertainment destination, Batavia, Downs tonight for Ohio State. Notre Dame will be celebrating, obviously, the Bills win over the Rams, but we're getting ready for the Chiefs. We ain't slouching. Now let's go to Brother Bill. All righty, folks. The show rolls on. Trainwreck tonight, 373. Brought to you by Batavia Downs, the region's premier entertainment destination. Let's get him in here, though. He's a destination for everyone on game day mornings. When the alarm clock's going off, the Labatt's in the Keurig. Mr. Bill, we're back in the AFC Championship. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations to you as well.
No, thank you.
Ooh, no thank you on that. I like that. Good manners. With that said, of course, that's Nick Caroline T. I could recognize the harmonious tones, the angelic voice. I could feel it on this Victory Monday, Bill. So with that said, real quick, we did strap into the tailgate. What'd you think of game day tailgate yesterday?
Oh, dude, electric. Those sofas. I was thinking about them all morning.
Seriously. They were a time. It was awesome you joining us on the pregame. We aired Big Phil, obviously taking over the charts. Can't wait to see where that ends up after its first week. But talk to me. Let's go first half first. Were you nervous at all? I mean, they were moving the ball a lot, obviously, no punts. Lamar was definitely doing his thing, but it was a bend but don't break. That's what McDermott's kind of specialty is.
Yeah, I mean, first drive, always, it's like the scripted drive, so they got the touchdown. It looked pretty easy. I was a little worried, but they kind of settled in and kind of did what the defense has done all year, like just make big plays, like turnovers and just coming up in big moments. And we talked about that in the pregame show. Like, you're not going to stop them every time. You just need like the timely game-changing big plays, really.
Yeah, game-changing plays, whether you're getting it from Terrell Bernard, obviously at the end of the game, but Taylor Rapp, who obviously left the game later, kind of gets that fair catch interception. It was hard not to feel too confident after that. You're already up, you were kind of up on them. They're throwing picks. Did you think we might run away with it there?
Yeah, and honestly, kind of, yes. Like, when we went into half, we scored too. We got like the...
Oh, dude, we played it out perfectly. The last section of the first half was expertise. It was absolute cinema from the Buffalo Bills. As far as planning, as far as execution. They pick up the fourth down in there as well with the little Josh wiggle run. But yeah, it was expert. Now, so we go into half again. You know they're moving the ball. You know that, it's you got 21 points, but it's not, the offense isn't cooking anybody necessarily. Josh had I think less than 100 yards at half. And, half of that was about on the play to Shakir on the first series of the game. What were your feelings at half? Were you nervous or were you thinking like this? My vibe was that I was nervous, but at halftime, I'm just telling myself, if we come out and score here, we're up 18 fucking points. Right. Like, we would be in such a good position if we could just come out and execute. That was my vibe. A nervous optimism.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was at too. Is like you got to the, I think it was 11 points, like you said. Like a touchdown on that first drive was like breaking it open almost. And I think we kind of came out of half, like took the pedal off the metal a little bit. It was smart. Like, I get it. Like, you're trying to waste the clock, keep the lead, like keep things safe, but like kind of wish we would have went for like stepping on the throat and making it a little less stressful. But I felt the same way as you was halftime. And then Brian Moorman with the
surprise. Yeah, Brian Moorman, that was an ultimate swerve. I knew it was him the whole time.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying enough attention, honestly. He booted it through the uprights. I saw that. And then Eric Wood with the I think you look familiar. I was fired up, I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty good sell from Eric Wood. Pretty good cinema. I give the Bills credit. At least they put on a show. Listen, I always complain when the entertainment's not. Hell knows the scoreboard is not giving you any good information. It's not giving you any good updates. They may as well have some good game entertainment in there, which we got from them. So we come out of half, obviously, do the exact opposite of what we discussed. It's a 3-and-out in like a minute. They're going right down the field. They get Tucker on a 50-yarder, which, by the way, was a spot, or like it was like 48, something around there. That's a spot where if Tucker misses, you're feeling great. You're still up 11. Everything, he makes it, obviously. Then the Bills fail again on offense after a little bit more of a drive, and Lamar and Co. comes down. They drive right down the field. At this point, my cheeks were tight, Bill. My cheeks were pretty tight. I can't lie. I mean, I'm just seeing them. They hadn't punted yet, and it didn't seem like we were fully unleashing Josh. That was the vibe I was picking up.
Exactly the same, dude. And there's like some opportunities where, it's like 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 2, and it's like, dude, just just tush push twice. Like it's so.
Dude, there were so many times where I go,
That's
this
all
is like, it was
do it.
second and 3, second and 2,
Yeah.
or like you said, third. I go, this should be a double tush push. No, they
Yeah.
definitely don't want to do that because there were points like the first drive with Ray Davis scoring the touchdown. That was at the 2-yard line or whatever. That could have easily been a double tush push, but it wasn't. So,
Even,
but by the way, people are calling it the snow plow in my section. Is that an official thing?
I've heard it in mine too. I was doing the Patrick Star, like push, like I was just push the whole time.
I'm always a plunge guy because I feel like you're just plunging into like, the hole for sure. But I like that. No, again, I'm surprised not seeing more. Maybe we're going to be seeing it this week more than anything with the Chiefs on deck. But yeah, so obviously all in all, we get our first 2-point conversion stop. It's 24-19. I'm just looking at this clock at this point. I don't know about you. And I knew that we were out of runway now because we were only up 2. But I think that's right around like late third quarter. Now we go on the drive. We're moving the ball. But it's like you said, it was very dink and dunk. It definitely wasn't wide open. Now, again, no one's looking for Dorsey offense up and down the field. Of course not. Like, we know we're not running 4 verts on every play. But were you surprised that it was like we were so content to take like 5 to 7 yards on like basically our plus plays?
Yeah. And, there's times where it's just like we run like bubble screen to the left and then we run like bubble screen to the right. And I'm like, and sometimes the players we choose to run the bubble screens with, I'm a little bit like I think there's a Dawson Knox one in there.
Oh, the Dawson Knox one on 3rd and 5 had people like screaming because it was like, you're just like, what the hell?
But I mean, I kind of got it I think it was our last offensive possession before like the kneel down ones. Where I started, like, we were getting down there, like, you're wasting the clock, you're being smart. Like, I was cool with it there. But, like, I would have rather just come out of, started the third quarter with some fireworks.
Well, of course, it's like, it's so hard to keep that urgency. They clearly came into the game with, like, we need to execute, and when we get an opportunity to make a play, we got to do it. That was their mindset, right? So you're getting turnovers by the defense, and then the offense was being opportunistic. The offense was not being good in the first half. Like, to say the offense was good would have been a lie, even though they had 21 points and 3 touchdowns. You're telling me, we want to talk about, as we get into the fourth quarter, I think everyone's cheeks were tight like mine, but the cheeks were kind of tight like very early, 3rd and 8, down 7-0, first drive of the game. All of a sudden you hit Shakir over the middle for 40 yards. That was, obviously a sick play, but again, we just talk about situational football and it seems like the Bills are getting the right breaks at the right times. We get into the fourth quarter, we drive for the, again, I think it was Knox gets stopped, unless I'm misremembering it. It was Knox gets stopped on the 3rd and 5 for like no gain. So we have to kick the field goal. Probably a play where if Knox gets like 3 or 4, we're going for it.
Right.
Because of it. But Bass running onto the field, there was a vibe. That's all I'm going to say, because they'd scored twice in their last 2 drives, coming out of half. Bass, coming on for a 50-yarder. You could feel it in the stadium, Bill.
Oh, my God. I was, like, completely wrapped around my buddy, just like a horror movie, just kind of, like, shaking, holding him. But he was he was nails yesterday, man.
He was nails. Very good. Kudos to Mr. Bass. It did look, I had a weird angle on it where I'm, like, off right of the goalpost on that side. So I did think it was tailing towards me at the end. I got nervous, but big kick, obviously, to go up at that point in the game, up 5, correct? Am I misremembering? No, up 5, yes, because that way you have to make them drive the whole field. They get the ball. They are driving again. Like, it's like, but it's so hard because it was like Lamar really was on rollerblades back there, man. Nobody could take him down. It was crazy.
There's times where, like, it looked like he was, like,
dead to rights.
Like, transported when, like, it looked like we had him. It was some crazy stuff sometimes. I think there's one where Rousseau was like, his whole arm was around him. And I thought,
dude. Now on that play, Rousseau, I don't know if you saw, he was screaming at the ref. He was actually getting held by the Ravens guy while he was doing that. So I was like, because I was talking to my Ravens fan, I go, listen, Lamar Jackson's good, but if Greg Rousseau gets a hand on him, like a full hand, he should be able to take him down. Like, I'm like, so I was very skeptical of that play. But so they're up 5, they're driving, and now they get a completion to Mark Andrews over the middle. And it's like, oh no, he's in the wide open field. The DB slipped. I think it may have been Rapp or Hamlin. I forget who, but I don't know if you saw, but the DB slipped who was covering him. And then Bernard just comes in with the play of the season, Bill, realistically, when you look back at it.
That was unreal. To punch it and recover
and to recover it, like, no doubt, like, no scramble, no, like, like two guys on it. Like, it was crazy.
No, that was electric. I was losing my mind. Dude, he's so good. I love that guy. We go down the field. We almost have the perfect drive. We were 2 yards short. The DB for the Ravens made a great play on third down at the 2 for the Bills. He wrapped himself around Josh Allen's legs. You get yourself around Josh Allen's legs, he can't keep moving. That's, you get him up top, he can keep moving, Bill. That's the issue. We get the field goal, no doubt. You didn't want to go for that 4th and goal at the 2, right? No.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I think that was pretty clear.
No, probably no matter what. I feel like
it was like, yeah, you can deliver the kill shot, but if you don't get it, you're shitting bricks for sure.
Yeah.
And you have a chance to like guarantee that you can't lose at that point. So obviously you take the field goal, it's up and good. Lamar driving down the field, like I thought for sure after the holding, they got the holding penalty on the kickoff, and then they lost like 2 or something, or had like a non-gain like the first play. I thought for sure with them backed up with all of it, they're going to do it. But then he made that play. He rolled out to the right, and he like jumped through it across the field. I forget who caught it. It might have been it might have been Andrews, but it was like a 30-yard gain to midfield. Then they have one more. I don't think it was Andrews, because Andrews caught the next one, which then went out of bounds, and it looked so easy. It looked like so easy on those two. Then he makes the play on first down with about 1:40 left, which is just crazy. Running around, dodges maybe a rusher or 2, I believe, and then finds Isaiah Likely in the end zone for the touchdown.
That was an unreal throw.
Unreal play. I think like my brain like tweaked for a half second because I just couldn't even prescribe it or whatever. 2-point conversion, I actually thought we had them. When I look at the replay, they definitely executed the play design to the 10 out of 10. But the drop, and then we get the onside kick, and that's all she wrote, Bill. Yeah. Did you have a minor cardiac attack like me?
Oh, yeah, dude. That touchdown, that drive was just such a mix of emotions, because it was probably the loudest stadium I've been at. Like, everybody, dude, just the difference between previous teams and this year is like you look at the bench, and like everyone on the bench is actively getting the crowd into it and like just juiced, which is so fun as a fan, and like so gets you wanting to scream louder and bang bleachers harder, and so that's electric. But like obviously the drive didn't go the way we wanted, so like you're out there trying to scream your head off, and he's just making great play after great play. But that 2-point conversion, man, that was like some angels in the outfield type thing, which is we just never have had luck, and it really is
never.
Like, you need some luck, and we finally got it.
Now I know I shouldn't have been, but I was shitting bricks on the onside kick. I was absolutely. I'm looking at the snow. I'm like, they got Tucker, who's like a damn stud. Like he's probably got some plan with and he had a good kick. How many times do you see the onside kick just roll out of bounds or something? It was a bouncer, but man, like Douglas was just a great smother. And then it was just like and then also, why the hell are we not just dropping back like 3 seconds and kneeling the ball, Bill? Why are we running it on first down there?
Ty Johnson, man.
Ty Johnson, ridiculous. But again, win. My cardiac was going nuts. Any final thoughts on the game?
Dude, just electric. It was so fun, man. That was the most fun I've had in a long time.
It was, especially when you're nervous. Like with a Bill, as a Bills fan, you're just so used to like heartbreak or something. You're like you're bracing yourself, and then it doesn't hit, and it's like you got the endorphin rush of like what it would have been anyway. With that said, Bills Chiefs, obviously going into Arrowhead, facing the 2-time Super Bowl champs. We're going into this year 15-1 or 16-1, whatever they were this year. Only lost to us. I think you'd be crazy not to be nervous, but spread is basically a pick 'em. The odds are basically the same. Are you nervous going into this game?
I said it yesterday on the pregame too, that I found Zen, and that's not. I'm happy with. I'm just enjoying the ride right now. Like obviously we lose, I'll be devastated. We win, I'm gonna be going nuts. But going into it, I try to just remain positive, and it's tough. They got a lot of people back. Like their offense has some studs now. When you add DeAndre and you get Hollywood back, so that's a little scary. But like, I don't know. It feels like we're a destiny team this year. Like the luck's on our side, which we never have, and I'm feeling good.
The NFL owes the Chiefs a couple makeup calls from this past weekend too. So let's get those in the Bills' favor. I mean, it really would benefit the NFL, like whispers, like to maybe like put another team from the AFC side in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So with that said, a long week ahead. We got basically 6 days, 5 hours, and 38 minutes until kickoff. Bill, take it easy. Have a good one, and let's go Bills.